what I also think is an issue with this fapping frequently is that the duration of the
With
injection.
what?
Fapping.
Fapping.
Wait, on that topic,
I have to a little rebuttal about the sex every day, but maybe.
yeah, that's what I want to ask about. What do you guys think that, like, I often get questions from, there's like a big movement called No Fap or something like that. I'm older than that generation. I don't even know what Fap is.
I think it's mostly the dopaminergic system that you continue to stimulate with obscure porn that's get more obscure and obscure over time, right? So, like, if you don't do that, like what I did like years ago, you don't follow those Instagram models, right? You maybe can follow a couple girls that you know from the gym, and if they're super sexy, you just mute them. So you build no, really, because you get oversaturated, dude. And a lot of the libido consultations that I get are from over masturbation and overstimulation from society. So you see a lot of these Instagram girls, unfollow them. You see a lot of ads with sexual innuendo, unfollow it, right? Stop watching that stuff. You build it up and you hold it for your partner. It's like you're doing like little sets at home with your biceps, and then you want to do a bicep workout at the end of the day. Dude, it's not going to work. So a lot of these issues just by overstimulation, and then due to this dopaminergic system which builds up, right? This response, by the time you actually have sex, it's no longer pleasurable because it's not representative of the porn that you've been exposing yourself to. So if you don't do any of that, by the end of the day that your partner gives you a wink, dude, you're ready to roll, even after 8 years of marriage. It's
the guys who a lot of guys, especially bodybuilders who get ED, like sometimes it's hormone mismanagement for sure. Having like estrogen imbalance, sometimes progestogenic activity is problematic, prolactin, but a lot of cases I think it's just guys who their sex drive is really high and they touch their dick way too much and watch porn. And so it's like 99% of the time, especially if it's a natural guy, I'm like, just don't touch your dick for 2 weeks and don't watch porn for 2 weeks. That's a lot of people, even a week, to be honest. Like most people can't do even a week. And the amount of like the erection quality increase, the ability to just like get horny regardless of what you're watching or not watching, like just sitting there and just thinking about something, it's like magnitudes higher, and people don't realize how much they're desensitizing themselves and fucking up their brains. I think it's becoming more widely known, and people still do it though, even knowing it's like bad for them.
Well, it's a lot of teenagers got problematic libido, and it's just hard to focus when that's in the back of your head, like I remember that day. So now I'm a little bit better, a little bit older, even though I'm on exogenous hormones. Like my hormone balance is pretty managed, right? I manage everything, but I can also control the libido. So I just hold it. I patiently wait until my wife is available, and then I take care of business.
For you guys, talking about allocating mental resources to the gym, what is your mental resource allotment like for sex with your wives? Like, do you guys have a certain time of day because it's going to like eat up mental capacity a bit, or is it how many times a week, or what is it for you guys?
Well,
Leo, you want to go first?
Well, I'm a little bit, I have some comments before we move on. There's some interesting. I just wanted to mention the no fap thing. The reason why I was curious about it, I'm wondering if you believe, Derek, that it affects your motivation outside of sex also. Let's just go back to that. And then I wanted to mention the weird thing about the no fap thing is it's actually really ancient, right? So yoga positions, one of the weirdest things about yoga is a lot of these upside down positions. Well, not weird, but I mean the historical origin of it is this idea of keeping the semen, which is your power, within you. And originally they thought, I'm not joking, I've seen these diagrams, they thought that upside down, the semen would go to your head. So like a lot of it came that way. A lot of the positions were developed around this idea of holding sexual energy, which is your life force energy. So there's some, and then I wanted to mention a final thing, just if you don't jack off for a long time, just for people to know, that is actually one of the ways that you can increase the atrophy of your penis over time in your lifetime. The reason why, for people that are younger like us who haven't experienced this yet, I read a lot of papers and get consultations from people in their 50s and 60s. Oftentimes, if I ever get a consultation from somebody about penis enlargement or about libido, and the guy's in his 50s, I ask, has your penis gotten smaller in the last 20 years? Every single time. Yeah, it did. How did you know that? What is, and I always notice this. What it is, I think, is that over time, due to changes in androgen signaling, you get less blood flow to the penis because of less morning erections, other than jacking off. And those morning erections seem to be part of maintaining the health, I think, in the penis. Think of it this way. Your blood vessels are normally dilated. The penis's vessels can dilate so much more than they would be at rest. So I think that mechanism is part of maintaining the health of the penis. Evidence of this in the finasteride studies, you can see that there's apoptosis of cells in the top part of the penis of the rodents who have less DHT signaling because of less endothelial nitric oxide synthase signaling from the androgen receptor on the penis. So basically, their blood vessels dilate less, but then coincidentally, the cells atrophy and die. So just a warning for people that want to say, like, for example, because some people I've been talking to on the channel, like, I have done no fap for a year. I was like, oh, my condolences. Like, you've lost some cells in your penis, and you probably shouldn't have done that. I mean, at the very least, you could have pumped and not ejaculated just to maintain the health.
This is no fap without a partner.
Yeah, I think use it or lose it is like something that actually kind of applies, because it's like, even when you don't do like stuff with your brain, for example, when you don't read and you don't try to actively learn, like even my time off, like I feel stupider than when I left for Joe Rogan 2 months ago right now, like because I haven't been actively like involved in what's going on, haven't been staying up to date on literature, haven't even been reviewing the stuff that I was like, you know, even super interested in already. Like some of the stuff I'll like random stuff, I have to double check my own videos to remember, because it's just been like a little bit. So even with like the dick thing or muscle at the gym, if you don't train it, or like not train your dick, but like if it doesn't get erect ever and it's just sitting there flaccid all the time, like I would expect that there would be shrinkage, you know. And if you're not getting adequate like NO, nitric oxide, to it as well, like your ceiling on your erection quality is obviously probably like, I would imagine, and this is something that's hugely controversial in the finasteride and 5-alpha reductase inhibition like discussion, is a lot of people, I think the lack of DHT is so imperceivable, not lack of DHT, but reduction in it is so imperceivable that they don't notice the reduction in erection quality. But I would imagine, let's just say you were at 100% pre-finasteride, I would imagine a lot of people end up at like 95% or something, or 90% maybe, and they just like don't notice the difference. But yeah, like DHT does definitely play a role in the health and, you know, like function of your erections, I would say, for a lot of people.
What I also think is an issue with this fapping frequently is that the duration of the injection. Fapping, whatever, masturbation.
You're right, Steve. I'm with you. I don't know what that word is either. We'll call it fupping, because I really
I don't know what it's my Dutch accent creeping up on me. So masturbation, right? Frequent masturbation. I think the duration of the erection is very short. So you don't allow for a lot of blood flow. You right? You get a semi-boner, you take care of it, and then it's done.
True.
Whereas
porn, right?
With porn. True. So whereas with intercourse, you have a little bit of foreplay, right? You have intercourse, you have to clean up afterwards. I think your erection is like, well, maybe in my case, maybe 10 times longer. Yeah. And you see that at night, where you have multiple erections to improve blood flow to the penis, right? And then send nutrients and just improve blood flow overall. And those are multiple minutes as well. And you have multiple erections throughout the night. So how many times did we wake up with a boner, but you have to go to the bathroom, and you sit there waiting for the boner to go down so you can actually pee, and this keeps you awake also. This is horrible, but it happens.
But is the masturbation also training you to because if you're efficient by the time you're like 25 or so, you can masturbate very quickly and get the job done. So is the masturbation also like training? I wonder, is it training you to ejaculate faster if you're not having sex with women as often? You know what I mean?
I think if you did, but I think if you're doing the whole porn thing and fapping way too much, you're desensitizing yourself to a point that not only is it harder to get off, but you like can't even get hard with a hot girl in front of you a lot of the time.
That's the psychology.
Because with the porn that you're watching, and you're desensitizing your penis by doing this masturbation. And well, especially if you're a bodybuilder on steroids, I mean, how bad is your hand quality from all this training? So you'll have to resort to lotions and
no, these guys with like vice grip bodybuilder hands, and then you go to have sex with a new chick with a condom. True. Like good luck feeling enough.
I had the same issue, dude, when I was like very sexually active in my younger years. I know. Right here, you're like enraged and then you don't feel anything. Yeah, enraged at home. I mean, you're enraged at home. You just do the wrong thing, and then you have a condom with a girl, with a regular. And you just don't. You don't feel anything. That's one of the reasons why I stopped doing that stuff. Like over a decade.
Sometimes that happens because the condom is too tight. By the way, just to let you guys know,
Really?
yeah, sometimes you don't notice the condom's very tight. Honestly, like if you try a normal Magnum, not the Magnum XL, okay, that's for other people, but the Magnum XL is very extreme. The normal Magnum isn't. It's a bit looser. It's way easier to use, bro. If you ever, if you try, you might be. If it's slightly tight, it'll cause that also to happen.
So life in Thailand, you have those cookie cutter condoms that are super tight. So I'd always had to order them online and get Trojans delivered. Yeah, because the condoms here, they break easy. Yeah, dude. Wow. Yeah, it's like pinky size. If you like asphyxiation, that's the way to do it. You go to.
I remember back.
You get those super tight condoms.